I'm often asked, what's your secret to success? The shorter answer, put in that work. There may be more failures than victories. Yes, I've been blessed to have 24 Grammys, but I've lost 46 times. That meant rejection 46 times. Please don't ever feel entitled to win. Just keep working harder. Surrender to the cards you are dealt. It's from that surrender that you get your power. Keep the collective strong. Stay focused. Don't talk about what you're gonna do. Don't just dream about what you're gonna do. Don't criticize somebody else for what they're not doing. You be it. Be about it. Be about that action and go do it. Keep your eye on your intention. Don't let any outside distraction or your own insecurity stop you from your goals. Embrace that struggle. Surviving that struggle will strengthen you. Look how far you've come and how much you contributed. Keep pushing. Forget the fear. Forget the doubt. Keep investing and keep betting on yourself.
OMG. Hello, my darling Fumi Nation. How are you? How are we, my darlings? Thank you very much for all of the well wishes. I see it in the comments, and I am absolutely living and loving. I also see a lot of the comments. Some of you say, Fumi, your hair is brown. You know, is it going brown? My hair has always been brown. It was never black. It was never black. It was always like a dark brown. But you know what's exciting? I think that my hair is going browner, and it is getting to the gray. It's getting to the gray. You know how your hair can be like black, brownish, then it tapers off to gray? I think that's where I am getting to. And for those of you asking, when the gray comes in, I'm going to keep it. Why not? Why not? I can't wait. I hope it breaks out in front, you know, all this grayness. OMG, the amount of kind of blue makeup, silver makeup I'm going to be wearing to be fabulous. I live and love. Okay, why are we here? I'll tell you why we are here. Mathew Knowles, Beyonce's father, was at an interview, sat at an interview, and this is what he had to say.
Part of your flowers. I said the same thing to Tina Knowles. You guys put in the work, and obviously the talent was there with your kids and your grandkids.
What work does she put in?
In the hair.
Okay, yeah, you're absolutely right. And the styling.
The styling.
The imaging, you're right.
She claimed to have preyed on the name. And different aspects of that.
Sure.
So, yeah. It's a joint effort.
We'll stop now.
Sorry, did I say something wrong?
No. I'm good.
All right.
You good?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
I really had to digest this. When I tell you, I really had to digest it. And I always want to pick my words because I want to make sure I get my message across. So I'm going to start with the mere fact that, Mathew, you understand production. You understand the camera guy has to be paid. You understand the lighting. You understand the space that had to be rented, decorated in order for you to be accommodated. you have to understand that the interviewer, who was so gracious, who was so polite, who was so pleasant and in accommodating you, that this is his career. It's not a job, it's a career. That him interviewing you will open doors for him to interview other talent. And so you know how he went over to extend graciousness to you. That he put aside other jobs because he was interviewing you. That he put aside other jobs previously, the week leading up to yours, because he wanted to make sure that he had done his research, that he was asking the right questions, that this interview was going to be great not only for him, but for everybody that had collaborated in order for you to be accommodated just so. And you got up and walked out. It's a slap on the face of everybody that made this collaborating interview. You should know that because you're the manager, you were for Destiny's Child for so very long. Beyonce is a superstar, and she gets her fair share of apple pie, of haters, lies, distractions on a daily basis. Mother of 3 children. Her husband also is an entertainer. I'm just looking at it from the other side, not us as fans and followers, forget us. But on the other hand, the pressure that she endures on a daily basis. On a daily basis. It was up until I did this YouTube that I found out that she has a really steady stream of haters that think that she's a devil worshipper. Never heard of it until I started covering her here on the channel. You have grandchildren. And on top of the pylon that they have to be tagged and seen how you behave. Because it's a rippling effect. Just 2 weeks ago, maybe shorter, Tina Knowles was being honored at the 15% challenge event that took place in California. She was given an award for her contribution to Destiny's Child by Kelly Rowland. So when you ask the interviewer, what did she contribute? It is diabolical to me that us that are not in the inner circle could see it, and you have to question it because of ego, because of bitterness, because of arrogance, because of sheer disrespect, because disrespect breeds disrespect. You disrespect the mother of your children, and yet it was you that had baby outside. It was you that had even maybe more than one child outside of the marriage. And that's the funny thing I realize with relationships. The survivor doesn't speak ill of the other one who was a hot, smoking mess. The person just goes on and continues to do the best and the greater good for everybody involved. You could not even hold the contempt that you have for her because she survived you. Because she went over and above and continued to be the amazing contribution to the world that she is. You think that you could have created Destiny's Child without her?
My grandmother was a seamstress. My grandparents did not have enough money. They could not afford my mother's Catholic school tuition. So my grandmother sewed clothes for the priests and the nuns and made the uniforms for the students in exchange for my mother's education. She then passed this gift down to my mother and taught her how to sew. When we were starting out in Destiny's Child, high-end labels, they didn't really want to dress for Black country curvy girls. And we couldn't afford designer dresses and couture. My mother was rejected from every showroom in New York. But like my grandmother, she used her talent and her creativity to give her children their dreams. My mother and my Uncle Johnny, God bless his soul, designed all of our first costumes and made each piece by hand, individually sewing hundreds of crystals and pearls, putting so much passion and love into every small detail. So to my mother, my uncle, my grandma, thank y'all. Thank you for showing me to never take no for an answer. Thank you for showing me how to take risks, work hard, and live life on my own terms.
And let us not scratch the surface talking about, oh, she did the outfits and the hair. She gave birth to Beyonce. Without giving birth and her own 50% DNA, you would not have had Beyonce. Let's start there. What did she bring to the table? She brought a whole Beyonce to the table. That's what she did. And a lot of men don't see the contribution to what women bring to a marriage. And when you go into a bad marriage, that marriage can look like a scam. I am so saddened that Tina saw anything in you to have married you. Because you see, she carried the eggs. She can carry them and fertilize them with anybody else. It's like fertilizer on a farm. You know, the eggs are there, the seeds are there. We know what it's going to look like. We just need a little sprinkler here and there for it to be complete. It's so unfortunate, Mathew. After all these years, you couldn't just step up out of your self-destruction and say yes, just smile. Do you know how many people, and I'm letting you, Fumi Nation, know that people that I cover on this channel and I don't like, but I keep it professional. You know why? Because whatever I feel about them personally or our personal relationship has nothing to do with how they look on the red carpet. If they still look fantastic, I'm giving them their flowers, because A has nothing to do with B. Because you need to be able to section off. Yes, you do. And I say that why? Because Mathew is the kind of person, and this goes into relationships again, where you have parents who cannot separate their ill will of each other, and they go ahead and weaponize the children in order to make a point and hurt the other parent. I see it all the time. And every time you get shot in the foot. You see, your face dropped, and you did not know that this would be put onto Shade Room, that this would be sent to me 100 times, and that I would really cover it. And so your face dropped because the interviewer did a phenomenal job. You have to understand, we are on the outside. We are on the outside. We don't know nothing. And he was giving Tina her flowers. Most probably, maybe he had interviewed Tina. Most probably, he might have been invited to the 15% challenge event and saw Tina so gracious and saw Tina to even give you your accolades. The irony. And he only mentioned to say, to give Tina her flowers because it's a team effort. It is always a team effort. There is not a single person on this green earth that is successful beyond measure, and they did it on their own. It's not possible. It takes a village. It takes a village, because you cannot have eyes everywhere. You cannot do everything. You might be talented, but you're not talented at everything. The very Beyonce that we're talking about is not talented at everything across the board. She knows where her talent lies, and that is where she has honed in. But that does not mean that she can make a phenomenal rhubarb pie. Maybe she can. I don't know. But you get my point. But to come out and have such disdain for your ex-wife like that is remarkable to me. And it really just shows how small of a man that you are. And forget me, because I'm just covering. The interviewer, I know that he will look and say, wow, I did not know he was like that. There's an old saying, before I go, it says, never ever meet your favorite celebrity. And I remember I said, why? They said, because you will always be disappointed. This is a classic case. Do you know, Mathew, how this interviewer looked up to you? You have no idea. You have no idea how he looked up to you, how he admires you, how he looks at all of your accomplishments. It's phenomenal. And then you came there and you behaved like this. He will process it for about 2 weeks, and then after that he'll look at you and he'll be like, wow, Beyonce did a good job, because if this is how he can behave at an interview where I had to question, I hope everything's okay, I hope I didn't do anything. Bless his heart, I felt so bad for him. I felt so bad for him, because you were blinded by your hatred of your ex-wife, that he really questioned himself, because he has built this interview for the past 2-3 weeks, maybe even more. And for you to end it like that for him was so bad. And he will wake up and he will say to himself, wow, you know what? My mental health is better than anything else. Because if he can behave like this, you can only imagine what he was behind closed doors.
Imagine you losing your mom at 26. Your brothers and sisters are older, they got their own families, and you feel so alone. And like, that's my best friend, you know. And in a lot of ways, he had an issue, but he was so kind to me. And it sounds crazy, because that's not kind to cheat on somebody. I think he had an illness, but we were a team. And, you know, we had kids and we built a life together. We built businesses together. We connected on so many levels. So I don't know. When I look at it now, I can't believe I stayed there for that long. Self-esteem issues, obviously. You know, those nuns telling me I wasn't good enough. So I was like, I'm lucky to have somebody that's successful and smart.
Did you
and
ever
better than me?
Did you ever?
In some ways, you think that.
Yeah. Did you ever? I was going to say, did you think was because you weren't doing enough, that you weren't enough for him? Did you think that?
Oh yeah, at times. Yeah. I think you do go through that when somebody cheats on you. And it also keeps you in a cycle of, it's kind of like somebody slapping you in the face and then you don't get to recover, and then you get another slap in the face. You can't really get your strength up, you know? And there were times when I did get my strength up. But then I would have these kids and I say, you know, I'm going to be by myself for the rest of my life, because I'm not going to bring some man around my kids. You know, that was always that fear of protection. And I swear, every time somebody would start messing with me, and he was my protector. He was always a protector. He's still my protector. If something went wrong, I would want him on my team.
How would you describe how is your relationship today? Because you all are grandparents together.
We're fine. I say in the book that I still love him as a brother.
Solange is the only, fire out there that said, to hell with all of this. And in Tina's book, Solange said, why did you take him back? She was so annoyed because they all suffered. And I have to applaud Beyonce. Despite that, she said, you know what? No. I got to keep going. I got to keep hustling. I got to get to where I got to go. And that's the message here for all Fumi Nation. Do not ever think I don't have a bad day. Do not ever think that I'm not going through something. Do not ever think that I don't have family challenges. Please don't think that. But you know what it is for me in my head? The show has got to go on. The show has got to what? The show has got to go on. I have been really sick for the past 3 weeks. The show has got to go on. The dreams have got to go on. The ambitions have got to go on. If I am dead sick, of course I'll take a break. Other than that, the show has got to go on. I have responsibilities. I have people relying on me. I have people that I'm paying their salaries. The show has got to go on. It's a work ethic that I have learned that only very few people really really understand. And the more I find myself getting ready to launch the brand, please sign up on the website. Yes. Make sure that you get your newsletter. Sign up for the newsletter. We are warming up, my darling, to wonderful things. I realize that, Fums, your dreams, your ambitions, your wishes come from you. And it's only you that drives the bus. The bus is full of your supporters and your village, but you are the one that drives. If you are not driving, the bus is parked to the side. So I want you guys to always know, plus this interviewer, you did a phenomenal job. I wish I knew who you were. If you know who he is, drop it down in the comment section for me. I absolutely love you, and I think you did a phenomenal job. That's all I can say. And Queen Tina, you reign supreme. You reign supreme. All of my love. Mwah, mwah. Do not forget to like, to subscribe, hit the notification button, and I'll see you I'll see you sooner than later. Mwah.
Hi guys, my name is ENITAN, hair coach. I am UK's first ever hair coach and a trichologist. We are a team of trichologists and hair coaches here in W6 London, and we help those who are desperate and have tried and everything else has failed. We look after those who have chronic scalp concerns, flaky, itchy scalp that's been going on for many years. We help those that have hair loss that has progressed instead of improved, and we help those that just generally want to have a better understanding of better quality hair, length, volume, and reduce that dryness. Visit us by clicking